Within today's video, we are going to be taking a look at stakeholder mapping and how you can apply this tool to your business while understanding who your key people are within either a project or your business in general. But before we can take a look at stakeholder mapping, it's important that we really address and understand what exactly a stakeholder is. So if we break down this word, it is exactly as it sounds, where it is basically telling us that the term represents someone who has a stake within the business. Or in other words, someone who can be affected by a business leader's decisions or future actions. And every business will have a fair idea of who these types of individuals are. However, identifying where they fall on the matrix, in terms of the stakeholder matrix, will give you clarity on the level of communication each of these people will require. So a stakeholder mapping analysis is the use of a matrix to offer a visual representation of who our key stakeholders are, and this will give us as businesses a better understanding of who those individuals are, which are going to have influence over our future plans and decisions. And there are different types of stakeholders, both internal and external. So some examples of our internal stakeholders could be the likes of our CEO, our management team, or even our employees. Our external stakeholders, on the other hand, are the likes of our customers, our suppliers, or our funders to a project. So now we understand exactly what a stakeholder is. Let's take a look at the stakeholder mapping matrix so you understand how you can apply this to your business today. So let's take a look at what a stakeholder map actually looks like. So as you can see here, this is a representation of a stakeholder mapping matrix, where you can see the y-axis represents the level of power a key stakeholder will have over your business or project. On the other hand, the x-axis represents the level of interest that they will have. And both these together make up the matrix where you can place your stakeholders on and decide whether they should be kept satisfied, managed closely, monitored, or kept informed. And basically, this will give you clarification on how you will communicate to each of these stakeholders. So let's take a look at what each of these four quadrants actually represent. So keep satisfied. So these types of individuals or groups can prove difficult to convince, where high power but low interest will mean that they will need to be aware of any major changes, but also will want to be left to their own will. The second one, which is managed closely, these types of stakeholders will have both high power and high interest, so these people will have to be kept up to date with any decisions that you make. Those who need to be monitored are the groups or individuals that have both low power and low interest in your decision making, meaning that although they are considered a stakeholder, you will not need to spend as much time trying to either persuade them or receive their buy-in to your future plans and decisions. With that said, it's important to mention that many times a project can change its terms or take a new approach, which will have an effect on the level of interest and power and influence over any of your stakeholders. So it's important to have understanding of each and every stakeholder and understand that if the project change, their interest or their power could also change as well. And finally then is keep informed, and these people have low power but high interest. So this group of people and individuals will require high level of communication at all stages, whether it be through emails, verbal communication, or even group meetings. Ensuring all these individuals have full awareness and understanding of your plans will be key to managing any forms of future resistance. As you can see here, I've added some of the general stakeholders that a project might have, such as customers, your CEO or your management team, your employees, and your suppliers. So these are some of the types of stakeholders that you would need to consider while going through any future project. And if I was to take a general perspective and place these on the stakeholder mapping analysis matrix as an example, I would probably begin by placing the customers in the manage closely category, as these types of individuals and groups definitely have a lot of power and influence and interest over our future plans. On the other hand, the CEO and management team, we would probably have to also manage those people closely as well, as those individuals within the top level of a business will want a clear view understanding of exactly where you're going with a project. Employees on the other hand normally have high interest but a low sense of power, so they could be placed within the keep informed category. And then finally our suppliers, and if we think about these individuals or groups, you normally want to keep these people satisfied, so they would go into the top left of the matrix. So these are just different examples, but of course it's very dependable on what exactly you're trying to achieve, as this was taken from just a general business perspective. But if you are running your own project, maybe your suppliers aren't going to have any impact at all on your future decisions, whereas maybe you want to think about your competitors on the other hand, or maybe even if they didn't have as much influence or power, you could probably put them in the monitor category. So it is really up to you to analyse your needs and understand your business and your stakeholders to use this type of matrix effectively. And this type of tool is being used by many business leaders across the business world today, whether it be through new projects, through new product or service development. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you can achieve massive benefits from performing this exercise, where the outcome of this will allow you to allocate your time more effectively, allowing you to see what individual or groups you should be focused upon, and allowing you to spend more time on the areas and stakeholders that matter most. You will also be able to manage resistance more effectively. Identifying those people who have most influence over your decisions will allow you to position yourself toward dealing with resistance and putting plans in place to manage this accordingly. And then finally, you will also be able to manage your resources more effectively, where having a plan in place and understanding your stakeholders' interest and influence will offer you a better opportunity in managing resources and allocating responsibilities to your team more effectively. If you do require any support and guidance in around any of these types of business strategy tools, or you would like the help of Profile Tree in implementing a digital transformation within your own business, we would be happy to support you through digital transformation strategy, culture change, process change, and the various other ways to improve the efficiency of your business. So if you do need any support in this specific area, you can find both the business email and my email on screen now. That is the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching and have a brilliant day.